We're bringing you the final installment of our Edward Weston Legacy series from 1948. Weston was one of the masters of 20th century photography. This segment covers how he processed his photos in his darkroom and discusses some of his inspirations for his photography. So join me again as we step back in time to explore the world of Edward Weston.
The photographer still has work to do. Unprinted negatives have the attraction and drama of buried treasure. The darkroom is the setting in which the photograph finally comes to life. This workshop is as simple as it can be. Most amateur photographers can boast of more gadgets and machines than can be found here. Like the cameras Weston uses, there isn't a device in this room that was unknown to technicians 50 years ago. He's merely learned to use the simple equipment with infinite skill. The selection has been made, but light, the energy of the photographic process, can still be controlled, even in this final stage. There is so much to learn, to remember. Timing is a matter of long experience and precise information. The intensity of the light, the characteristics of the coated paper, contrast, tonal quality. Photography is art and science too. And then the weight. After 45 active years as a photographer, Weston won't trade the excitement of these last minutes for anything in the world. A piece of his work, of him, is coming to life. It will do. The decision isn't hard to make when you've known all along what you were trying for. But if the print hadn't been right, there isn't a step in the whole process that Weston wouldn't repeat 50 times until it was right. Art cannot afford compromise. Weston is only one of a distinguished line of artists who've used the camera as a creative tool. The French painter Daguerre was the first, nearly 100 years ago. He and his followers rarely strayed from the subject matter and style of contemporary painting. Weston loves to talk about these pioneers of his craft. About David Octavius Hill, who created a remarkable portrait gallery of 19th century Britons. About Julia Cameron, whose plates were commentaries on the romanticism of the Victorians. Nadar in France was attracted by the formalism of his time, but his photographs were pictures of real people. The first to exploit the camera's special powers of precision and accuracy was the American Matthew Brady. He refused to prettify Abraham Lincoln's noble homeliness, but his portraits revealed the beauty of character within the great emancipator. Brady carried his thirst for realism to war. Following the Union Army with primitive camera and wet plates, he combined art and journalism. His portrait of Walt Whitman is a record of a poet's personality. Little wonder that Brady's work is still a source of inspiration to his countrymen. In later years, the Frenchman Atget revived the starkly realistic camera style. The principle of looking for beauty in the ordinary, everyday backgrounds of modern life was also being developed at the turn of the century by Alfred Stieglitz. With his learned arguments and with his beautiful pictures, Stieglitz once and for all settled the question, is photography art? Today, that question is no longer debated. Men like Edward Steichen, Paul Strand, Ansel Adams, Walker Evans, Weston himself, do not have to fight for recognition or appreciation. They do not have to come to us. We are more than willing to go to them. This is the Pacific coast of America. And this is an American artist who can reveal his country's beauty in a language that all men can understand. Like the rock, he is native to these shores. But unlike the rock, he can be shared by the whole world. Weston is a fortunate man. He can give the world something he loves. He can give it America.
He certainly gave us something we love, his legacy of work, including his daybooks. I talk more about Weston in my book, Advancing Your Photography, so just hit the I there to get your copy now. Be sure to check out our other Weston videos where I explored his home in Darkroom with his grandson Kim. And thanks for joining me again. Be sure to subscribe now so you don't miss any of our new episodes. And I love reading your comments and seeing your likes, so keep them coming. And follow me on Instagram so we can stay in touch. And until next time, remember to get out and capture your own images of life.